Today is Monday and our electrician just came over here and he asked us what we wanted. We told him, we gave him the measurements from Lowe's, the drawings, the workups, and he knows that he needs to move the old outlet for the stove back. He knows where we want the new outlets around the border. He knows we want an outlet here and then one probably here. And of course he'll have to rewire from this being knob and tube. And he will have to, this light up here, he will make it sturdier because it's not up there well. And we're going to put a different light, a heavier light. So he's going to have to work on that and pull new wire. So right now he and Kevin are gone to Lowe's to buy the wire, and I'll let you know how much all that cost, because all this has to come out basically, and this one's not going to even be here because we don't need it. So, but all of it has to be done. As a matter of fact, he said this one that was for the refrigerator was very old, like probably from the 1950s. This one right here.
If I can't get the screws out.
So there's a box there. There's a box
torque, and this one does.
and there.
Okay, we had the electrician over here to do roughed in the wires. The wiring is all roughed in. It's not hooked up to anything right now. But we've got all our outlets. This is just outlets above the countertops. This will be for the range hood. So when we get a hood, that'll be there. He didn't put a box up there because he didn't know exactly where the cabinet was going to be. So the cabinet people can notch it out and it'll be fine. Some outlets there. We've got an outlet back here for just a plug-in outlet. You'll see a door over here, which I'll talk about in a second. But this is the door. Then this is for, it's heavy. That's going to be for a garbage disposal. If we want to add one, we can do that. This is for our switches for our garbage disposal and the under cabinet lighting. The under cabinet lighting wire is right there. So he'll come back in later on once the cabinets are up and put an actual outlet plug in there. And we're just going to have under cabinet lighting under this L right here. That'll be more than enough light to just light up to do the sink. Really, the only time we ever use it really was to do over the sink, and it'll be fine. The coffee pot we may put on that. We might put on the end over there. Just who knows, you know. So we'll have plenty of lighting. This is for just an outlet, and that's for the refrigerator. I wonder why he didn't run that one over yet. I don't know. Anyway, that's where the refrigerator. He had to leave today. So he may just not have gotten to that one. And then we've got a couple outlets in the floor, or on this side, and there's going to be one over there in the floor over there. So you can see he's got roughed in everything over there. We hope to get the old outlets out of the floor, the one hanging down here, the one over there, the old one's out. The gas lines, I don't know. We're still working on stuff. So it'll slowly but surely we'll get the gas lines set out. You'll notice, or maybe you won't notice, the frame for this door is gone. The frame on this side was already gone. We actually took the framework out of here too. And the door that you saw was the one that was over here. This was the door, was sitting right here. It never really worked. What they had to do, or what you had to do, is take a slide bolt, the one above the door over there. You had to take the bolt and slide it on to get it to lock. It didn't actually. You had to do this to latch the door. The door didn't latch on its own, and you had to use this. You notice it's all sealed in. There's not even a place for a plate or a latch or anything down there. It's all solid. They put wood putty or something in there. So, could have made a door out of that if you wanted to. I don't know how much it would take to take all that wood putty out of there. Probably forever. So anyway, tomorrow we're going to try to figure out how to get the wire from the panel box into this room, because the panel box is not easily accessible. The panel box is, but getting to actually pull a cable into it is not as easily accessible as just pulling wire through the wall. So this was an easier part, I guess. We're
And
gonna
that's
have to
weird to me because the panel box is right there and this
know.
room is right here. It's,
I know, 3 feet separating.
Yeah,
them,
so
and
I don't understand.
There's no way to connect. There's nothing in that wall to connect them, so
Right.
there's no way to get to it.
Right.
So we're either going to have to cut a hole upstairs in the attic and go in, or maybe even here and go over there
Right.
and drop it down from the top, or we're going to have to go into the house and figure out how we can fish it up through the house and go up through the floor.
Right.
That's where we're at right now. The electric line for the range, that still has to be moved at some point too. And we got the big heavy cable for that.
Oh, I didn't give the total for that. The total for all this that they bought was like $497
Yeah.
for.
But this cable right here, literally, the range cable, this was literally $250 by itself. Just that spool of wire right there, heavy duty wire. So, copper is not cheap right now. Copper is very expensive. That's why people are stealing it like crazy, is because it's very expensive and they can recycle it for big bucks. So, that's where we're at, and it's just a matter of slowly working through it. Once we get all the electric done and they come put drywall in, then we will put the 2 doors back over here. We're going to just buy 2 new doors and put them in. We'll have 2 matching doors, and we'll be.
But we're going to keep this door. We're not going to get rid of this door.
Yeah, it's a project door, so we have something in mind for it. We don't know how well it'll work out. We had something we want to do with it, so we'll just see how it turns out. So that's all I can think of. Also, one other thing, I talked to them. They've had some cabinets done before. They said that these water lines that are down on the floor, they said that the cabinet people should be able to notch around those and cut out around those to where we should be able to just leave them and put the cabinets just like right on top of them.
Yeah.
The only bad thing about that is if you get a leak in one of those, you're going to have to pull a cabinet out to get to it. That's the only bad thing about it. But if it's under the house, they'd have to go into the house and do it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the best solution there is. So I hate to. It's been another $500 for plumbers to come out here, or just leave it in here and let the cabinet people notch it out. Probably notching it out is probably what we're going to end up doing. So yeah, I can't think of anything else.
So we'll get back tomorrow.
We'll get back and show what we've done tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. I'm handing you the one next to it right now. The one that's kind of underneath of it.
Are you ready, Tommy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Some kind of Arabic.
That is
Yeah.
what I was wondering if you would uncover. That was there when I was a kid in the 80s.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I was wondering if it was still under there.
Yep.
Oh, be careful. We just finished with day 2 of the electrical work, and it's all finished, isn't it, Kevin?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just the rough end's done.
The rough end's done. So you see it's here. The stove, we were very fortunate with the wire for the stove, because believe it or not, that was going to cost $200 by itself.
$250 just for the wire.
$250 just for the wire for that stove if we had needed a new one. Praise the Lord, we didn't. So we were able to use that. And then this is what the boxes look like as of right now. And I'll just take you around. I'm sure this isn't... yes, I was going to show that next. Yeah, the gas lines, that big white pipe that was here before is gone. That hole is where the plug came up from the stove. And then over here, there was a gas pipe. And then the only other thing that Kevin has to move, which he said he could do himself, was cap this water line. He needs to pull this water line up right here for the refrigerator and cap it off. And so that, he said he knew how to do that. That should be no big deal. So he bought the cap for that at Lowe's, and he'll do that. And so that was it in this room today. Okay, we went to Lowe's and bought 4 bags of insulation. Kevin looked up this R15 online, and he said it was the best that Lowe's.
R15 is the size. It's the ROXUL.
I can't hear you if you're not.
I'm sorry. The ROXUL is the brand. R15 is just how well it insulates. The ROXUL, it is a stone wool insulation, and they were saying it was like the best insulation you can get. It's fireproof. It says it on there somewhere. It's fire resistant and moisture resistant.
I see where it says fire resistant, water repellent,
Yeah.
made from stone. But didn't you read something about
And
critters?
it's a little sound barrier too.
Sound barrier.
Yeah, critters and bugs can't live off of it. There's nothing in it they could eat. Stuff like that.
So it was the total was $157.74.
But we bought a few other things.
We bought a few other things, so about $160.
They're $38 a piece.
Yeah, not bad at all. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Is we're gonna get started. Kevin has this bread knife.
That's what you slice it with. I'm gonna open the bag with a razor knife. Are you ready?
Are we gonna do a bag opening instead of a box opening?
There's somebody on YouTube that has just him cutting the bag open.
Oh, really?
And that's the whole video.
It's just him open, and you watched it.
And it was only like 30 seconds. But,
Oh.
but it's cool when you open these. You know, like expanding foam.
Yeah. That is the same color as the floor. It kind of blends in.
You ready?
Yeah.
My blade was actually sharp enough to cut plastic.
Guido, you better watch out. He is fearless.
That or stupid.
Oh, wow. Cool. Where's the cat? That would have scared him to death. There's one little piece hanging on over here. That's why I didn't have the full effect you probably wanted. Oh, nice. And it's in slices for us. Do we have to wear gloves or anything to handle it?
They say that this one's not as bad as fiberglass insulation, so it shouldn't be as bad on our hands and stuff. But they said if you work with a lot of it, you might want to wear gloves. But for the most part, there's no chemicals or anything in those.
So we'll be okay.
We should be okay.
Okay, so what do we do first?
I gotta start. I'll probably just start poking it in the top of these panels,
Okay.
and then
I'll hand it up to
yeah, you
you.
can just hand it up to me.
There's the first piece. And how does it feel, Kevin?
Like steel wool, except
Steel
not,
wool?
except not not as rough as steel wool, but it's made out of rocks, just like steel wool is.
So are you going to put the next one right beside it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go over here next to it.
I'm going to show you putting it up there. And you don't have to have any anything to hold it up there, huh?
No.
That's easy enough to do.
Yep, as long as your studs are not too wide. And that one compressed just a little bit, but I think
That'll be all right.
the deal is you don't want too much compression because then it gets rid of all the air pockets inside of it,
And it can't breathe.
and it can't breathe, and then you ruin your insulation part. But I think that's probably close enough.
We're having to cut the first one because we got over 3, and then this one by the window is, how many inches is it, Kev?
It's a foot.
It's a foot. So he's using the bread knife, and gonna cut right into it, yeah. That's nice.
One thing you got to do is make sure you hold the back
Right.
because you don't want to push it out the bottom. My knife's probably not that sharp either.
And we can save that piece for someplace. Yeah,
Right over
there's
there.
lots of pieces over on the edge we can use it for. Okay, this is the second bag. I figured I'd show you how far that one went. We did this wall, and we're starting over here. And honestly, we could have gone ahead and done this one with this, but this was on the edge of the bag, and it was flattened pretty good. It was squashed. So I'm going to save it because if we get to this wall, then I'm going to save it for that wall because it's flatter. I want the thickest pieces possible for the outside walls. So, so we'll see this expand again because it's so cool. Yay!
I don't believe all that fits in there.
That's why it got squashed. Okay, I want to show you we put it up at the top, and now we're putting it down in the middle, but we have this electric wire going across here, and I want to show you how you're supposed to manipulate this stuff to get it to fit.
And I'm no expert. So.
No, Kevin, no, he's not an expert, but you did read.
Right, but no comments from people that do this every day. Boy, you're screwing that up.
No, we are weekend warriors. We are at-home people doing this on our own. But this is what he read to do. You cut it where the wire is in the back, and then you fit it around there. You just fit it right over it. Like that.
Yeah, that worked better than the first one.
And that works great. Open too, that bag right there. One thing we noticed about this stuff is it breaks apart really, really easily. Clumps of it will come off in your hand, so you have to be really careful with it. We did not do this. I'm sure a forklift went right through it and did it.
That's
right.
why I did that.
Yeah, so we are saving those pieces. We're opening the third bag right now. We're going to save these pieces for like smaller pieces down here so we can cut it off, or maybe down here. We have a lot of little areas. But anyway, that would be our only con against this is that it does break apart really easy. And we're saving every little piece we get. I'm gently laying it to the side so that we can use it. So this is where we're at now. And we haven't been at it too long. It really hadn't taken a long time. Okay, we're opening up the last bag. What we're going to do is we have a bunch of scrap pieces here, and we have a couple of full pieces. But Kevin, I told him if he sits down on the floor, then I can scoot him pieces and he can measure these to go around. And you can see those he just cut around the boxes for them. And we've gone all the way around. We have not done around this window. We do need to do around that window. We will not be doing up close around this window though, because that's the window that has the termite damage down at the bottom. We'll do underneath. We just won't do the close-up part because we don't know exactly what new framework it needs. So we're just going to wait on that. So this is the last package. Okay, so what we've been doing recently is we've used up a lot of our scraps. And you can see like we've pieced it, little pieces here and there. And we've done that just so that we don't waste this. It has been more time consuming to do it that way because you have to measure a little bit more, but it's worth it so that you're not wasting a lot of money too. So really we just have this left to go tonight, and then around the window, and then a little piece here in the corner, and then this piece here. And then, of course, as I've already said, I have to save enough for this window. But Kevin might even put a couple of pieces on this wall. If you have some.
I might just stick it up on this side where the toilet is.
Right. Just, yeah, because the toilet is right on the other side. Probably on the other side of that. Right. So he might put it around there just for a little sound barrier, because this stuff is supposed to be an excellent sound barrier is what he's read. So we'll see how much we have left.
It's been pretty easy to go in.
Yeah, he's been very, very impressed with it. We finished up for the night, and we finished 2 walls, and it did not take long at all. We were only going to add insulation to this wall if we had any extra. We did, in fact, have 4 of these sheets like this left. But we're going to keep them because we decided not to do the spaces around the window yet, even this window, just because Kevin wants to ask one of our experts to make sure we're just doing the right thing. So we're going to leave that open for right now. And then tomorrow we will be starting something new. But we were very happy to finish this, and Kevin loves this stuff. Much, much better than trying to cut fiberglass, he said. It cuts, literally, they described it on their website, like cutting a loaf of bread. That's exactly what it was like. It was like cutting a loaf of bread. It worked perfectly.